I actually wanted us to see if we can key this into what you were about saying concerning the locals who were policing their communities then, and see how we can relate it to the call for state police in this particular constitution review exercise we are already on. If we succeed in bringing that to our communities today, do you think that can help solve some of the security challenges we're facing?
Well, actually, when I hear that debate on at least demand for by the governors and so on, and a lot of interested parties to have state police, I'm really confused, because I have the privilege, when I was coming up as a kid, I met local police. Northern Nigeria was divided into provinces, and every province, under every province you have district, you have traditional ruler called emir. That is an emirate. And in the emirate, you have police, the local police. And every emir is the head of his own police. And they are also head of prison, local prisons. And they are head of local judiciary. So everything was working together. The local police was a local person. He knows everybody around, and people can relate to him, and he can relate to people. And he will find it difficult to do something that will tarnish the reputation of his family, because everybody knows who he is. So if he is grabbing, what they call corruption today, a lot of people, a lot of his uncles and so on will also be victims, and they will be the one to go and tell him, don't do that. But where you have a situation where everybody can find himself anywhere, whether you understand the language or you understand anything, it doesn't matter. You are there because you are a federal person. A federal person can operate in any corner of the 74 local governments. So you have a problem with that. But the issue then, again, I also had the privilege of studying in New York, and I studied America very well. You have local police. You have state police. State police are what they call troopers. Now the troopers, the state police in America, are only responsible when you have something like a flood, when you have something like earthquake in the western part of America, like in the California area and so on. When you have fire disaster, that's where state troopers go in for one thing or the other.
Now, let's just look at the funding network now. It's quite amazing that we are yet to figure out where the source of funding comes from this violent sect.
Well, it is very difficult to explain, but if people say the money is coming from somewhere, well, we allowed it to happen.
Because it's believed that if the supplies could be cut off, the funding supply could be cut off, that might cripple the activities of this sect.
Well, I am not sure if the way people are talking of funding is not funding like the terrorism America is now experimenting in Syria. You surround Syria with enemies, you penetrate Syrian society, recruit people, arm them, pay them money, so that you can accuse the president of Syria of terrorizing his people. And I don't know any country in the world that allows people to terrorize that government, whichever government you call it. But when you come to our own local system here, first of all, most of the guns are really from the police. If we are going to be honest with ourselves, but police will not accept that one. They attack police station and take the guns and use the same guns, okay? Since the police themselves and other security operatives have accepted that we have a porous border, then whoever is helping them comes out. I don't think these people money is their problem. I don't think, what do they need money for? If you see the bombs they use is improvised. It's local technology. You know, okay? Yeah. Then the guns are the same guns that were donated to the police. They go and take and use. I have not seen anything from what I have been seeing in pictures. I have not seen anything that I have not seen before, which the government is using here.
Let's look at another issue which somehow you touched on and you left it off, and it has to do with, for instance, the Guyana tragedy, Jim Jones and the others. And I remember then it was even Marilyn Ogre, the spokesperson for the SSS, she talked about some people, they were trying to de-radicalize. Now, if people can sell something to people and they get so influenced and obsessed with it to the extent that they can take their own lives, is it okay and proper for us to listen to those in the National Assembly saying they should now regulate what the people preach to the people from the pulpit?
Well, you see, those
because we're all looking for solutions to all of this.
Absolutely. Well, you see, the problem is that the preacher himself is a product of the society. Quite a number of people like to listen to some of the preachers because they are radicals and you like what they are saying. You are a victim of corruption, you are a victim of indolence, you are a victim of maladministration, you are a victim of everything. You are deprived as a citizen. As a taxpayer, all of us are deprived. Then somebody is talking that language you can associate with, you can relate to. So it's not a matter of asking or regulating preaching. Every responsible preacher or religionist knows when he goes to the extreme. But there are other people who really, for lack of knowledge of their own particular religion, they go extra mile. Why don't you pick anybody who says something unusual and deal with him?
If you were to set the agenda for curbing insecurity in this nation, what would that be?
It's not easy for me to sit here and start listing 1, 2, 3 as things to go about. It's a simple thing, is leadership. The day we have dynamic, compassionate leadership, all this problem will not arise. But when leaders themselves, from top to bottom, are rotten, you don't expect anybody to listen to what they say. We have reached a situation in Nigeria now. It doesn't matter what leaders say or what rulers say. Nobody cares what they say because nobody believes them.
And that is bad.
Of course it is very bad. But you don't blame the people, you blame the leaders, because time over and over again, they said one thing or the other and they did the opposite.
But again, if we keep having bad thoughts, it will never go away. And that's the fear here. You keep having bad thoughts, it comes to fruition. How can we start thinking, if we say, given that the leadership or leaders have failed the people, will the people be delighted to also head towards destruction? Can't they salvage themselves in a way by having good thoughts and good thinking and attitude?
Well, you see, when you have leadership that is compassionate, that is whatever, it is the leadership of the people, not leadership of yourself. This whole thing has now been reduced to self-service. Listen to, read all this corruption that is coming from everywhere, top to bottom. That's why I say corruption without borders. And you cannot get, people are there. They woke up this morning, they don't know where to go. They have nowhere to go. They have no food. They cannot think of where their lunch is coming from. They didn't have breakfast already. They want to go somewhere, they don't have money to go there. Students who finish with all the diplomas and certificates, they don't even have money to make more photocopies to send with their application. And you want to tell them that everything is okay? Well, it is okay for you, but it's not okay for them. So when you put these people to that extreme, then the devil will take over. And again, when you have a situation in Nigeria like all these affluence we have, people are flaunting this ill-gotten wealth, and they are boasting about it. And they are giving themselves honors, from honorary cosa to anything you can think of, from traditional title to anything. But who are they yesterday? So, how do you do that? If the only way out is, I don't know how long it will take for us to have an election, like the election we just have in Edo State, or Lagosians here. These two governors, at least Governor Fashola, there's no Lagosian who is in his right sense of mind who will say that Governor Fashola was not democratically elected. And when people really get what they choose, and those who are chosen by the people, honestly, they have compassion, they have concern for those people. But you rig yourself into office, you have contempt for the people. You know that those people don't matter, because left to them, they will not have put you there. So inadvertently, psychologically, you really go on the kill. You grab whatever you can grab and deal with them, and it does, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. And that's the situation.
And that's not the way to go.
No, absolutely.